So the pleasant sound of waves lapping against sandy beaches and the distant call of seabirds fills the air. The village below the cliffs on the shore is in ruins, and it looks like it looks like it hasn't been inhabited for at least half a century. A sign with a painted skull and crossbones near the traveler's lodge declares the area ahead dangerous. No explanation is given. For a moment, there is a figure near the water's edge, but the glare from the sun shimmering off the lake makes it hard to depict exactly who it is. And then, the figure is gone. And so are the birds, and the peaceful sounds. The only thing you hear is sadistic laughter.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a finger snap.
Oh, yeah, no finger snaps. So, our weekly roundup of events here might be a little wonky because some of it might happen in Euros and some of it's going to happen back in Illinois. So let's try and start with things in Euros. One of the things that you guys talked about wanting to do is Andy invited Captain Petros to the guild. And he is very flattered. What?
When he is done with his service to Euros.
Correct. Yep. He's very flattered and tempted by the offer, but he doesn't feel right about leaving Euros anytime soon. He does invite you, however, to contact him if you're ever this far north again and need any assistance. He feels like he's got another good century to put in before he retires from here.
Oh my gosh.
He's a dwarf.
Which one is he? Oh, he's the dwarf.
Yeah, he was the last of the guardsmen down in the basement, and then after the Battle of the Wall, he was promoted to captain.
Him. Okay, yes. Yep. Good. The only guy that we were able to save.
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
The one who told the other dwarves that nobody leaves the wall. So, let's see. What else happened? And that's in Euros. I don't think there's anything else specific that I cooked up for that town. Let's see. Filbert bought some scrolls to put in his new ritual book that he found on Tree Sleeper's corpse. Anything else anybody wants to do here?
Can I buy some splint mail here?
Yes, you absolutely could.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, this is a big city. There's a lot going on in this place.
Dude. Yeah, I need to get...
Can it be exceptional splint mail for magic?
Yeah, it would be twice the cost, but it absolutely can be.
What is that cost?
It's 200 base. How much money did we get last week?
I was just pulling that up right now to let you know.
You were rewarded with 300 gold.
Total?
What's the...
Each. But
okay.
I put some of it into the treasury, so if you're taking the 300, we can remove that. But
hold on.
What's the base AC on? What's the AC for that then?
It's one higher than chain.
It is okay.
If we go off our normal rate of return, you got 120 gold last week.
I took all of it this time because I had things I needed.
I haven't taken any money out of my cut at all, ever.
So you'd have 120. Oh, which ones do we do? I'll figure out your number. I'll get you a number here in a second.
Okay, I'll figure it out. But
I would definitely love to do that splint mail then. So,
absolutely, that should be easy enough.
Super good call.
All right, so you guys you equip up, you buy a few things that you deem necessary for the coming days to bolster your AC and other stuff. Filbert buys some scrolls for his ritual book, and anything else while you're here.
Was there any more conversation or discovery about what the hurtful, not hurtful cloud did?
No, nobody's aware. There is, however, they did discover a black crystal down where the Yuan Ti were, and it seems to be filled with some kind of smoke, as near as they can decipher it. It's an airborne powder that swirls around inside of this crystal. They think that maybe their running theory is at the moment that maybe the Yuan Ti's job was to get the crystal closer to the horns, and they failed in their job, and the Knolls didn't know it, and so they fulfilled their part of the bargain, but nothing happened because so far nothing has happened. So that's the running hypothesis. Might not be accurate. Probably isn't. I'll probably ruin your lives with it later.
Yeah.
That seems right.
That sounds about right.
But for now, that's what they think.
Aight.
All right. Adam, in one of your enchanting rolls, you can have an extra 10 points this week for being inspired by reconstructing the golems of your ancestors that protect the lower gates.
Okay.
That was a big deal for Thanok. Like, he's very awe-inspired and feeling super dwarven-y as he has accomplished that feat.
Nice.
Okay, so how much traveling plus how many?
I'm going to give you guys
Those
14
fruits.
days of crafting.
Okay.
Yeah, because in order to catch us back up to the time, there's weeks that transpire between the events. So. Basically, when you get back to town, everybody else is out on smaller missions that have been trickling in here and there. So you'll have time to take care of stuff.
Okay.
Andy, is that amount specific to Adam?
That's each person.
We each get 564.
Yes, if you haven't been collecting it at all over the course of this event, the adventures.
No, I have not. Okay, so I will actually add 360.
Ooh, that's enough that I could put another spell in.
But T, you have been collecting it and giving it to Tabby.
Oh, yes. So I'm only focusing on the number that was just sent. Okay,
Correct.
Yep.
Which, when you get back to town, you're going to find out she still has most of that. But she also has a lot of dresses and a lot of shoes and some handbags. And she's probably spent about 25% of it.
Okay, fair enough.
But she bought you a really slick-looking druid robe.
Ooh.
Yep.
I will add that to my ensemble for ambassadoring. I don't actually... Is there a term for that that's actually a term?
Your ceremonial garb.
Sure. There we go. You said 14 days of crafting?
Yep.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Dang.
Let me know when you guys are all done with that. Oh, those are big numbers.
That's a really good number.
That is a really, really good number.
Yeah.
Whoa, plus 140?
Yeah, I have a plus 10 to my crafting currently because wisdom plus proficiency.
Which just went up, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dang. Oh, I didn't... Wait, did I do
Plus, you have a bonus 1 to your crafting skills.
Oh, I need to add... that one was supposed to be there. I have expertise. That's what it was.
Mine didn't go up, though. I did something different. Did I? Yeah, I raised con. Right.
All right, so let's do some other news while you guys figure that type of stuff out. So after you get back to Illinois, you take a quick trip down to Crenshad to find Philly's parents. Mav said earlier in our chat that out of the 500 gold bounty generally paid for the loss of your comrade, he figured he'd restock some of that to the guild and send 250 gold to Philly's parents, which is a substantial amount. It's close to a year's wages for a common laborer. And they are thankful for the money, and they accept it, but they're pretty angry that Philly went off and got killed. And and they will not be taking the job offered to them at the guild hall. They wanted her to end up playing in the halls of some noble or lesser regal lord, and they feel like she squandered her life. They're not necessarily mad at you, but they're just pissed at the whole situation.
Fair enough.
So
Right.
But they do thank you sincerely for thinking about them and for taking as good a care of their daughter as they could have. So,
this is probably a future conversation, but when we well, we have it now, I guess, the house.
yeah.
We should like name a wing after her or something.
She is the first one to get whacked out of the whole group.
Yeah.
Can I use some of my wood crafting points to create a sort of memorial
Yeah.
plaque for
Absolutely.
our fallen?
Are we putting up a plaque on the wall of dead heroes so we can just keep adding more to it?
Hopefully
Yeah.
not, but yes.
No, I think our characters would probably want to do that.
Yeah, that's definitely within
Yeah.
the feel for the way dwarves honor people and things like that.
Just have a big stone slab with our names carved, with not our names, but others' names carved into it.
Yeah, but Mav you can definitely cook up it doesn't even take a lot of points. For 5 points, you can cook up a really nice lacquered plaque, and then you could either carve into it, or you guys could easily forge little nameplates you could attach to it. You know, whichever you want to do. But you can have a plaque for the honored dead in your guild hall. That's cool. And yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I rolled wrong. I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, okay.
It's actually 11, not 8 for me now. I just looked. So it's 293.
Nice. Very cool. Let's see. What else is in here? Oh, you also throw a party to celebrate in memorial all of the people that died defending Euros. And with the battle at the Firstborn, and the Red Rocks have been included in this. Drekken does not attend. He did not come back from the north. He does, however, send 2 large kegs of Titanbrook ale to the party.
Oh.
And in a sense, it reads like a very sincere letter thanking you for honoring his people. Let's see. That is delivered by his youngest daughter, Hazani, and a small entourage of other firstborn officers. Their entire presence is very genuine and friendly. What else is going on? Guild's kept itself busy. Fizz, Dal, and Grummy did a very good job of keeping up with the lesser contracts that came in. You can add another 150 gold to the guild coffers. Let's see. I got 2 pieces of news, and then you guys can tell me whatever else you want to do in town this week. What's that?
You should not be able to equip 2 sets of armor at the same time. That's funny. Got a 23 AC at the moment.
Nope.
Just kidding.
So news around the kingdom is the Firstborn have regrouped after the battle, and they are currently hunting the remaining sons out in the wilderness. But the sons seem to have given them the slip. It looks like the Golden Wood is fallen pretty quiet, that they've moved on from the area of the Maker's Palm and north of there, and moved over across the river to the east. And the other news is the Emperor has moved a lot of the forces from the capital and other southern areas across the sea north to secure it. The disbursement of the troops, especially after the battle and the lowering of the troop count in the area, the Emperor is making sure that the land in the north is more secure. That's it. That's the news. So what else do you guys want to do, or anything you want to check into or look into, ask about now that you're back home?
So the 2 things Filbert wanted was, obviously, I was talking about the Unseen Servants thing, getting those enchantments put on the house, with probably Thanak's help.
Yeah,
since that's more of an enchantment thing and less of a.
Oh yeah, okay.
You weren't here when I mentioned that. I took Unseen Servant as a ritual, but I also have those mollusk shells that can make spells permanent. Mike said it'd be cool if I used the ritual Unseen Servant and those to give us 3 Unseen Servants that just do things around our house.
Yeah, totally.
So I'll need your help with that. And then the other one was getting that armor made. You guys were going to make some armor out of the scales from the winged serpent. That was going to be Thanok and Othik.
Let's see. Oh yeah, you absolutely get a rest too. Did I not give you one?
Just Mav has exhaustion and Tony has some wounds.
I believe you guys can give yourself a rest if you click on your character sheet somewhere. I do it on Randy all the time.
That's because you're the GM.
Oh, wow, that makes sense. Let's see. And then I will give another one to get rid of Mav's exhaustion. Cool. Goodbye, exhaustion.
I feel so rested. I'm glowing.
Mav can help better.
There we go.
So those, I think, were the only 2 things that Filbert was worried about as far as house stuff. And then you had mentioned I received an invitation. I would share that with the group if you want to talk on that. And then the other one was a Seder that I need to stick some things on.
Some other news that has popped up globally that has drifted your way, sort of. There's a lot of people in town now, in the taverns, who they're buying little mini beholders whose purpose is to spread illusionary magic displaying what we would call reality TV. And so people are buying these things and watching shows. And in the latest episode of Naked in the Fade, you guys were all watching this at the tavern, and you see the party that's running through the Feywild run into Ulrin Zabas, who tricks them into stealing, or they ended up negotiating for it, a very powerful magical viola. And as soon as he gets it, he disappears. And he mentions you guys by name and how much he hates you.
Does he look right at the camera when it happens?
Yeah, pretty much. Those irritating granite-back dwarves. And so, like, everybody in the tavern there in Illinois remembers Ulrin, and so they all look over at you and start cheering. They're like, "Ah, I hate you!"
I love it.
Yeah.
I just feel like it was an episode of Cheers.
It was pretty great. That whole bit, thanks to Tony and Allie, was absolute genius and just a lot of fun. They're still stuck in it. They got at least another week to go before they find their way out. Depends on where they go.
Oh, no!
Yeah, they're still stuck with very little gear at all, which is a lot of fun for a higher level party to have nothing. Like, they're all like, yeah, I want my weapon, I want this. And then they go to cast a spell. I was like, well, do you have your spell casting focus? No. Well, guess what? You don't.
Yeah.
No spells for you. Crap. So that was fun. Anyways, the other thing that's going on in Filbert's world, he draws your attention to Randy's illusionary show, is that he has received an invitation to have dinner with the Lady of Still Hours, his Fey patron. And he informs you that he would like you guys to go to dinner with him at some point in time soon.
All right.
Okay.
So that's out there. Anybody else got anything they want to do?
Yeah. How much? Sorry, words. How much crafting points is it to put that spell on my armor?
A lot.
Okay.
It's a pretty big deal to put that on there. Part of it will depend on how much you want it to absorb too. Like, because when you cast the spell at your level, it's always at maximum. No, it's not.
No, that's only for Warlock. Yep. Yeah, I was just gonna be a level 1 version of it.
Okay, how much damage does that absorb?
5.
5 points? Oh, that's not much at all. But it's still a pretty hefty enchantment, and you want it to come back once a day?
Yeah.
I'd put that at probably 400 crafting points.
Okay. What about the unseen servants?
I'm gonna put that one on Phil. You're gonna aid him in that, but that's gonna take his stuff to do. So that way you're not draining all.
And I have good reagents for that too. Yep.
So I'm gonna put the unseen servants with the reagents that you have at 150 apiece to create those things. But they will take good care of your guild hall. They will do basic cleaning. Well, they'll do complex cleaning, basically, and basic home repair. So
cool. That leaves me with 10 crafting points from next time.
All right. So 300. And Adam, I'm also going to have to... I'm probably going to charge you another 200 gold for reagents on that, too.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Oh, does that leave you anything to craft that armor, Thana?
Well, that's actually Othig's gig, because Othig's the better blacksmith.
Hey!
So, Othig, if you would like to make a set of Golden Serpent scale mail for Filbert, that will cost you 100 crafting points.
Done.
Yep. Filbert, you now have scale mail armor. Which definitely...
Without... And you said it's lightweight, so it does not have the disadvantage property?
Correct.
Oof. Lucky guy.
Yep, it is a really nice piece of armor.
I may be picking up another healer's kit.
Okay. Any other town business? Because it has been a while since we've been in town.
No, I think that's it.
All right.
That was it for me, I think.
That was splint mail, Mike?
Scale.
Thank you.
Adam bought splint mail in euros.
That was the words.
Yep. So let's talk about our missions with the guild this week. What?
Sorry, I'd like to donate my chainmail to the guild. Whoever wants to use it can have it.
Okay. Somebody will pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I put mine in the party sheet.
Okay.
I'll
do that can definitely get tossed into the guild.
Oh, I can do that. Studded leather. Studded leather also in there.
Yeah, is that how we're going to do that going forward? Because I know one of the things was, like, we, equipments, and then also, like, maybe promoting them helps them. But how are we doing the gear part?
I believe in the campaign tracker there's a spot for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is there?
There is.
I did not.
Right now, I've just been putting magical items. I'm assuming that they have basic equipment.
Yeah, okay. All of them come with their standard care package of basic equipment. So to some degree, studded leather and chainmail is kind of useless because you can get that with your intro packages.
Yeah.
But
Mike,
up?
Would I be able to buy a sheath for my dagger that is
absolutely
glowing?
100%.
It stops the glowing
or
hides the glowing.
Sure can.
Okay.
Broken?
Yeah, I've been meaning to tell that to you forever because you put it in Discord. I'm like, oh yeah, that's easy. He can do that.
Also, where is the
oh my God.
the dagger of darkness? Or
Sky.
It's called?
Sky has it.
Self-inflicting.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And according to the people who've adventured with Sky since giving it to her, she puts it to extraordinarily good use. She doesn't have like Devil's Sight or Tremor Sense or anything like that, but everybody kind of swears that she does.
Huh. Okay, cool.
Like she's just got a natural knack for crawling through darkness.
When not in combat, she uses it to sneak up and tickle people.
That's probably not untrue. Granitebacks.
And then sniffs them and tells them that they smell better when they're sleeping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably.
Tasties.
So, why have you never played a lizard folk?
I have. I played 2 of Black in the one-shot. The Halloween one-shot. So.
Ran 2 of Black. It's been everywhere.
There's 4,000 silver pieces sitting in the party sheet. Is there?
Yeah, I was gonna say what was that about? What's that about? Is that for real?
I don't remember where that came from, but if it's in the party sheet, it came from somewhere.
Yeah.
It was in the Sleeper's Lair. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember.
Was that conversion 1,000 to 1? Isn't it?
No, that's 400 gold.
Yeah, it's 400 gold.
Yeah.
Just have Andy added to the guild coffers for now.
Andy's not listening.
Yep. So, Mike, the other thing when we get back, I'm going to get the rest of my money from Tabby.
Okay.
And I'm going to add another spell to my...
All right. All right, so... I believe, then, that brings us to our adventures, which I'm ready for. Are you ready for?
Yep.
Sweet. So your first adventure was the scouting mission. The military has hired the Graniteback Guild, the 7/7s, to scout for the remaining Sons of the Sphinx forces in the north. The legal government would really like to find any runaway slaves and rebels to re-enlist them in their proper callings before the firstborn eliminate them. Word has started to come back that the firstborn are really not interested in taking the runaways alive, and that's causing a lot of property problems with people. You know, slaves are not cheap. So they're trying to get a hold of the situation before it gets more out of hand. And so you guys assigned the yellow team to head out there, who is basically your nature team. It's pretty stacked in that regard. Let's see. And that is Grummy, Sky, Skog, and Halkin. And they head out, and so they get out. Takes them about a week to get out there into the wilderness, and they start looking for signs of the Sphinx. So I need a D20 roll. This is a explore nature check.
Oh, well.
Who's to use?
We should really have a rotation on that, guys.
Yeah.
We should really, you know what we should do is you have to call it to roll it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, so who's rolling this?
I'll roll.
All right.
Natural 1. Yeah, there we go.
It's not a lot better. So that is a partial success. It takes them a lot longer than they would have expected to find tracks, but they do find them. So they begin following them, and they kind of seem to run in a bunch of different directions. So they have to make some choices here. So another nature check for me.
I'll roll it.
Okay. Well, that's a good one.
Hey.
That's a full success.
Hey, you see how we switched that, Adam?
Yeah,
That around? Yep. That is actually a total of 25 with the nature bonus that's going on in that party. And being inside of that, they are able to, you guys, sneak up on a group of Sphinx soldiers who are actually, looks like they're waiting in ambush for you, but that roll was so good that you are now able to ambush them. So whoever makes this combat roll can do so at advantage.
I will.
Hey! I'm guessing it was
Whoops.
That's 154.
We have 170.
170. You remove them from existence.
You remove their family line from existence.
18. That is a full success as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys totally get your crew gets the drop on these guys. One of them, though, escapes and breaks camp and starts to run. That you track that fella down, and your group sees a very large encampment of Sons of Sphinx soldiers, and they are actually, if you look at the Kren map, which I can throw up and share with you.
You had it open.
Oh, they are actually east of the Mage's Tower, way the heck over here.
Were you on the North Kren map?
Yep, North Kren map. I threw a little arrow up there. They're halfway between the Tower of Mages and Thivis.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And so your folks come back with a full success with the military, and you have earned a full reward and a +1 spear.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. let's move on to bad medicine. Well, that's funny. The sheet doesn't want to write +1. I always forget that. You gotta put it in parentheses. All right, bad medicine. So you've heard reports of a merchant cruising through the area who is selling bad potions. He's responsible for some pretty serious illnesses and even a death. He was last seen in Capanis. So there's a pretty hefty bounty out for his capture. Did I list the gold reward on these?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think you did.
The scouting mission would be worth 300 gold. Then. So bad medicine, a full success, or yeah, this one, the bounty is at 200. So, you send your team to Capanis. Now, which team is going on this one? Is team, I think it's green team. Yep. So, you guys need to ask around Capanis and explore the city to try and figure out where this guy went next. So I need a social or explore urban roll. Which one would you prefer? Actually, the bonus is the same, so it doesn't matter.
Go for it, Tony.
On it.
Oh,
Got it.
Yeah. Very nice.
Nice.
So that's a full success. He has just passed through here again within the last day. And he sold some more stuff. There's a small orphanage of children who are now sick because of this Joker. And
we're killing him.
And he was traveling east the last they seen him. So now I need an explore nature roll.
I'll do it.
Adam.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's real bad.
I'm so proud of you.
That's a partial failure. That's so bad. You lose track of this guy pretty bad. You followed the wagon tracks out of town for a little while. You thought you were on his trail. You ran up to a cart full of people, and it turned out to just be some farmers hauling corn. You scared the tar out of them. They do, however, point your group in the right direction, but they're not real keen on being assaulted the way they were. And,
Yeah.
Way to go, Adam.
and so, about
Our
2
bad.
days later, you find this guy's wagon. And it on the side of it says the good doctor's potions, and you're pretty sure from what other people have said you're sure that this is the Joker. So
Please tell me that this dude wears like platform shoes and purple.
no, I was thinking more he looks like the wizard from the Wizard of Oz before the Oz bit. So he's kind of got a top hat on and a monocle. And,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's kind of how I envision him. But you find his hideout, and it is riddled with arcane wardings. So I need an arcane check.
I'll do it.
Do it. Well, that's good. Good thing you got Mariasi along with you. She takes care of that. That is a full success.
Nice.
Very nice. So she's dismantling the arcane wards as you sneak through, and you come upon this guy, and he's mixing potions, and you can see hovering behind him a shadowy figure that is influencing the way he's doing things.
Oh.
So your group needs to make a choice here. Do you try to focus just on the shadowy thing, or do you just take this guy out?
Who's there?
Yeah, who's on
Dal,
that team?
Mallory, Racky, and Hector. And Hector,
The shadowy thing. They're a good group of people. They probably would recognize that that's not.
Yeah.
That he might
Yeah.
be innocent.
I
Yeah.
think Mariasi overall would just be she would just overpower the idea that he's innocent.
You would think that.
Yeah, he's
Does anyone in that group have the leader trait?
Hector does.
Oh, Hector does it? Yeah. I feel like he would say the exact same.
Okay.
Though, also.
So that does raise the DC on the combat a little bit, but I need a combat roll as you fight this fiend that is inducing nightmares on your group as you try to battle it.
Get it, Mav.
That's a okay roll. That's a partial success. So, the guy was operating similarly to a warlock class, but he was technically under possession. You do manage to set him free, but he loses a hand in the deal. So, doesn't go perfectly for him, but you do get a story out of him that it was his own dumb fault that he got wrapped up in this. So your overall was a partial success on that. And so you will get the 200 gold reward.
Have one of the people send the armless dude to me so that I can give him a prosthetic.
All right. They give him a script, a writ for a Thanox special.
Yeah.
For an axe buster all his own.
Dude, he's not gonna be in the doctor profession after that.
He's not gonna be missing that arm anyways.
So the last one happens, and it's about a building here in Illinois that has started on fire. Only the building doesn't burn up. The flames are hot like a normal fire, but the structure and the family inside remain unharmed. However, every time the family attempts to leave, they start on fire.
Oh, okay. I was just about to say, why would you stay in a house that is perpetually on fire?
Well, I want to know why we didn't do this mission, by the way.
Yeah.
This one sounded like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Andy's the only one who said anything. Somebody else could have spoke up. So, also, I want to make it clear that I lay these missions out for you. You guys don't have to take any of them. If you want to go off and do something different, you can. You just need to let me know. If you want to be like, no, let's go way over to Merital in the desert and see what's going on there. Sure.
I don't think we had enough manpower to split that up.
You don't, and you might not be able to accomplish all the missions if you do that, but that's the way the world works.
No.
Like, if you want to go chase down the compass, or the key for the labyrinth, I'm never going to make that a weekly mission. You guys are just going to need to tell me, let's go find the key.
Oh, yeah, we should.
So, that's...
Is going to dinner a mission?
It depends on the size of it. Some of it is small enough to just be tossed on the side. That will be tossed on the side of today.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yep.
Going out to dinner with Phil is definitely a mission.
I was thinking that comment was coming. Or some similar comment was coming.
That's really funny. So the first thing you guys need to do is figure out what the heck is going on here. So somebody needs to investigate this fire. That will be an arcane or a divine check. Your divine check is +4, so it's a little bit better.
Is it you, Tony?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. No, I won't. That's 6.
It's not terrible. The DC wasn't too high. It takes you a bit to figure out what's going on, but you're pretty sure this whole thing is fiendish in origin. And what tips you off to that, as you're investigating it, you're attacked by imps. And everybody goes, oh, fiends. That's right. See, I get it. So I need a combat.
Plus side, it's devils, not demons.
Oh, that's true. Oh, no. That's bad.
Oh, no.
I suppose I didn't call it, so...
You didn't call it. But you rolled it.
Nobody else rolled, so...
Yeah, and no one else rolled. So.
Well, I was about to call it until I saw the roll.
Well, luckily, it's just imps. So you take a pretty good beating from these imps, and they scatter across the city. And so there are imps loose in Illinois now. But fighting them revealed that the building has actually been cursed. And so you guys need to break the curse. This is a divine roll.
I'll do this one. Hey!
That's good. That's a full success. So the group gets together, applies their divine skills, and I believe That's Haschel in this group. Yep, totally is. So, young Haschel, Forge Cleric of growing power and might, applies his skills to it and ends the curse. And as he does, a black fiend that, again now, induces nightmarish style fear on your people, rises up out of the building and attacks your group. So I need another combat roll.
I'll do that one. Oh, that actually missed the good thing too. Ugh, that was terrible.
Oh!
There we go.
That's awesome. So that is a fantastic recovery from what has happened before. That is a full success. You guys, your team owns this nightmare demon. They're just like, nope, not gonna do it. Sorry.
Nope.
Sorry, demon, you're done. And just they put an end to him. They make it look easy.
Nice.
And let's see, what is that? That's full failure, so that's gonna come out to a partial success. And you will get rewarded 100 gold and a remove curse scroll.
Ooh. Nice.
Be right back.
All right.
Cool. Well, he's gone. I'm gonna, Mike. Two things real quick.
Sure.
First, if I only want to put 2 in our house and want to sell one to the bar to give them an unseen servant bartender, how much could we make off of that monetarily?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Boy, that's a really valuable shindig you guys are pulling off there.
Yep.
I would, if you want to sell it to the bar, you're going to make 250 gold.
Good job, huh?
But you could market this to somebody else and make 5.
Do we need more than 1 in our house, guys, or do we want 2 in our house?
Two would do a fine job taking care of your house. 3 would do an exceptional job. One would keep up.
I'll leave that to the group for discussion. Because we can make 750 gold off of that.
I like the idea. I like the idea of not necessarily doing a monetary trade, but a service trade with the bar.
If you're talking alcohol, he's going to be losing out on that deal.
Well,
It's true.
in the sense of, I don't know. I mean, part of it is that like this guy has basically like funded us for. I mean, like we were paying room and board and all that, but like, he had a huge impact on us being able to keep this thing going.
Our origins.
Yeah,
I would, going off of that, I would see that we could try to do an agreement where if we need the space, we could rent a room at pretty much no cost for the guild. Like if we had somebody coming into town or a temporary housing situation. Is that kind of what you're thinking, or?
I don't necessarily know what the trade would be. Part of my thinking is that gold is gold. It's nice, but it's not
Permanent.
It's not. It's just
acquirable.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we can get gold from anywhere. Like this is an interesting thing that is the monetary value of it is less than the.
Well, I mean, we could
hold on.
give it to them.
Here's the thing: we could also put a vest on it that marks it as a Graniteback thing, and we could use it for advertisement in the bars.
Like a sandwich billboard.
I was thinking more just a vest, but sure.
I mean, that is a vest. It's just a bigger one.
Oh man.
I came in at a really weird point.
I have a question. Are these unseen servants, are they dwarf size or human size?
They're unseen, so we don't know.
Yeah, but
You're welcome.
but they know.
You can ask them if they'll respond to you.
No, I mean I love that idea. I think having 2 for our place is great, and then doing something with the other one, specifically with the bar, whether that be
Well, let's pause on that. Does the bartender
Yeah.
have any solutions or options that he would suggest for a trade? It's something more permanent, less gold oriented.
He definitely would give you guys a discount on the money you spend with him. Going forward, he would sell to you guys at cost going forward.
I think that's a huge break right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, we'll do that. So, the thing I do want to add, so we will probably put a vest on that one, but the 2 that are in our house will have pristine griffin feathers that I found attached to them, so we know where they are, so that we don't misplace them.
Or somebody doesn't get freaked out in the middle of the night.
Well, sure, that too. Filbert's less worried about that. Actually, with that, I will make them each a necklace with a glowing mushroom so that we can see them in the dark.
Oh, sure. Sure thing.
My hippies are helping keep the house clean.
They're helping.
So, there you go.
All right.
Thanks for indulging me. We can go on to the next mission.
Cool.
Hey, Mike, you put in Discord the feats?
Yeah.
With that, like, how... I didn't understand what those were giving us.
They're not giving you anything. It's just an example of how I'm working it.
I get it.
Like,
okay.
It's the story hook piece of how it's building. And you asked me, and I didn't get a chance to respond. Yours and Ryan's like off feats as a fighter class, those will work normally, rules as written.
Okay.
So yeah, when you guys hit your level 6 and 10 feet or whatever it is, that works normally. So you won't get your ASI and get to work towards your new feat. You'll just get whatever you get as your class feature.
Okay.
Because that's what those feats are designed to be. They're designed to be a class feature. So.
Yeah. Okay, so if we wanted, we could just take a feat for that instead of an ASI.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. So while you guys are sitting around recovering, crafting some stuff, putting some things together, getting your business moving, and selling unseen servants to the inn, it's really pretty great. Like, you're sitting at the inn, and the unseen servant comes over in his new outfit, his Granitebacks vest and robes, and then on the back of it is a big symbol that says this unseen servant was brought to you by Graniteback Ingenuity, and and the 7/7s logos on the bottom of it. It's pretty great. Everybody.
So it's sort of like a NASCAR thing.
It's totally an unseen NASCAR.
And so in TV time at the inn is now a big thing. The unseen servant holds the beholder while he displays the illusions, and everybody cheers for whatever's going on in this week's latest episode of Jersey Shore or Naked in the Fade or whatever you're watching. It's pretty great. And a messenger comes in from Mariasi, and he's looking for the 7/7's Adventuring Guild.
Boy.
I had to introduce myself.
Okay, that's good, because I was about to have him walk out. As nobody says anything. He gives you a name. It's some common peasant name, but he says that he works for the Medralani family. And that
Some common peasant name.
it's like Bob.
As opposed to Pete's random NPC.
Jim.
It's like...
So he says he works for the Medralani family, which is the family that one of your groups freed the daughter from that wicked fairy from in Mariasi. And he is begging you to come and meet with the local governor. And The
Alright.
the messenger knows that a list has been found of names and that a few people on the list have gone missing. Okay, so you guys agree to meet with him, and he heads back out right away. He just starts booking it down the road as runners and messengers do. Quick little fellers, you guys hit the road. And you start traveling, and you go up north of Illinois, and then you take the right hand turn past the Red Rock checkpoints that they still have set up on the road. They see it's you. They don't even hassle you guys at all. They just let you pass. And you get past their far checkpoint, and you're about a quarter mile past that, and things begin to get very foggy, which is unusual. Fog is really uncommon in the Kren Empire. The arid climate just doesn't lend itself to it. Sometimes over a body of water, you'll see mist in the morning, but that's about it. And it's pretty thick. It's up to about your knees. It's abnormal, to say the least. Filbert, there is a...
What's the...
What?
Sorry, what's the town's name that we're on our way to again?
Mariasi.
Okay.
You guys are about here on the map. When this fog begins to crop up. Filbert, this fog feels familiar to you.
Oh, good. I'm gonna make a Fey nature check.
Do it.
That's a 16.
That's a 16. You believe that you guys are being led to the ladies' courtroom.
Oops.
So, as you continue to walk through this fog, you feel like you are not in the Empire anymore. There are large dead trees covered in fungus and mushrooms growing up everywhere. It smells earthy and of rotting plant matter here quite a bit. You even see at one point in time, you're pretty sure it's a hill giant that has died alongside the road and is now covered with growing mushrooms and fungus. I suppose you can't see what type of giant it is, but it's that size. Anything you guys want to do?
Okay. I don't like this.
All right, so you continue on for a bit.
I don't think there's anything I can specifically say we should do.
And you guys have now been exposed to Fey creatures, and even the Fey itself a few different times. You definitely feel like you're in part of the Fey. The way that this has all transpired, there is just a weird feel to the air and the atmosphere. The air and the sound in the air almost feels like it's singing somewhere in the background, but there's nothing audible happening. It's just the impression that you're getting from it. And up ahead, you see a large black table covered in food, and standing at the end of it is, you suppose it's a woman, but it's really hard to tell. She's extraordinarily featureless. Filbert, you would recognize whatever creature this is. It's the same type of creature that met you in the tavern one night. You guys would kind of recognize the outfit, but when that thing came in to see you, it had a face. This being does not have a face. It makes facial expressions, but there are no eyes, there is no mouth, there is no nose. But you can see it furrow its brow and smile and even blink. But it just looks like it's pale gray skin over its skull.
I would have prior to this, made myself all ambassador-dude up.
Okay. She welcomes you. She welcomes Ambassador Filbert and his family, and introduces herself as the Lady of Still Hours.
I would introduce each person individually to her.
She would drift over to each of you. It doesn't even look like she walks. It's almost like she floats, but her gown covers the ground, so you can't quite see. But if she was floating, you would think the gown would pull itself under her and drag. It doesn't. It stays perfectly spread out around her as she moves. And she very regally takes each of your hand in that weird queen, like, shake your hand thing, and introduces herself as the Fey Queen of life, death, and rebirth.
Well,
I'll bow.
well, Other's pretty darn impressed. I mean, because he thinks this is all weird anyway. So he's like, yeah, he's super impressed.
So
Would
she
probably
invites you then
also
to the
bow.
table and asks you to sit down and have dinner with her.
I will do so.
All right.
Yeah.
As you guys take a seat, servants that are dressed very similarly to her, same types of creatures too. They come out of the mists and the shadows, and they bring wines and ales and cheeses and mushrooms, lots of mushroom stuff. But the mushrooms here are weird. You guys have had plenty of mushrooms. Phil is constantly giving you mushrooms. But these mushrooms have taste and flavor unlike anything you've experienced. They're delicious, but you can't peg them. Like, we as people say everything tastes like chicken, but it's not accurate for these mushrooms. It's you eat a mushroom and it's like eating a pie of some kind. It's just bizarre. They're amazing. There's other food there as well, but for the most part, it's a solid dining of mushrooms. And she thanks you for attending, and then asks you if you know what's coming.
That's
Dessert?
She smiles. You can see her non-mouth flesh kind of rise up at the cheeks. And her head goes back a little bit. And she says, well, yes. I meant to the world.
No, shadows, darkness, nightmares, bad guy.
Yes.
Can I pause for a second?
Yeah.
Did the missions that the other guys went on, they didn't get back from that yet, did they?
Correct. Well,
So we didn't hear the reports. How that
the
went?
house one you would have. The firehouse would have. Because it was in town.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are now, that group is now scrambling around town trying to find imps, which is really hard because they can be invisible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you
All right.
did get the report from that one. The others traveled quite far away.
Yeah.
Unpause one.
So I would ask how big of a deal it actually seems like it's gonna be.
She tells you that the Lord of Nightmares is closer to the Veil than he has been for many centuries. You may have already noticed, but as his presence bleeds through, people will be touched by fiends bringing nightmares to them, and soon consumed by the madness of dreams, even in their waking hours.
I would ask her if the things we've experienced, like as our party, are related, being the sleeper and the horn. I would probably present the horn. I assume no, I don't have that. That got locked.
They locked that up.
Okay, I'd make a minor illusion of it since I did hold it. I would ask her what the words on there mean, and then ask about the sleeper as well, and ask if all of these things are correlated to one another, and then probably the rift with the Wanti as well. Those three things would be Filbert's main discussionary topic point.
Okay, so
throw the reality TV in there too.
she's like, oh, I love that show. We watch it every night.
Okay.
Of course they do.
She's like, Randy is he's such a good host. He's just an inspired being. It's like whoever created him is a genius. She would say that many of those things, the sleeper and the horns in particular, are very related to his coming, although she is unaware of what the phrase means. Did I translate that for you yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. She cautions you not to translate it. I have it translated someplace. She says it would sound like a string of gibberish words to you, but speaking them aloud would inflict you with madness.
More than I already have? Like real madness or my kind of mad?
Real madness.
Didn't the old guys speak those words to you though?
Not translated.
Not translated. Okay, got it. I thought.
What is their origin?
It's a long dead language.
Oh, good. That's
we
good.
refer to it as the dead language.
We could call it the language of the dead. Bum, 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 bum. I would ask her if there's any use we can be to her, or if she could be any use to us in the near future and in the long term. And I would kind of like hesitate and be like, "Do you want to join a guild, Mav? How does this work?"
She laughs at you again. She says, "You're already being of use to me. You stopped the sleeper from waking. You've stopped many dark creatures from leaving their places and infecting your world. And you'll do more in the time to come. And when needed, I will call upon you."
Likewise, I hope.
I will do my best to aid you.
Do I believe her?
Yeah. She's got some really good mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Filbert really has. I don't think Filbert really has a whole lot that he's searching for here, unless Tony has missed something in his sleepiness.
I don't think so.
I don't think Filbert has anything he's searching for other than usefulness and a purpose, and I think that's already kind of presented itself. I would ask a favor of her to, if she can help with this satyr at all, it would be greatly appreciated, and I would warn her about what he's recently done, though I'm sure she's seen the episode.
Yes, yep.
But I would consider it a personal favor if she were to assist us in humiliating him in some way on national television.
Oh. She says, "How delightfully petty."
I've been back here too long.
She's like, no, I'm all in. I will speak to the ones that need to make arrangements for such a thing.
The methods. Use the method. Like, Filbert, like, goes white and, like, has a flashback moment. He's like, just whispers the methods, and then is like, no, use the methods.
I'll do what I
But
can.
yeah, that's all I want.
Okay. So the rest of the evening progresses unless anybody else has anything they want to ask her.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I would ask her why she specifically asked us here now. Just information gathering, or was there a purpose to this meeting that was more than just a formality or a cordiality?
She smiles and says, "There's always a greater purpose to the things the rulers of the Fae do, even if it is strange to mortals. But you just happen to be walking down the road past where my kingdom overlaps with yours, so I drew you in."
Wait, the invitation went out before that. I'm confused.
She invited you, but you just happened to be walking past her place. So she thought you would come.
Gotcha. I was curious about the invitation, if there was a reason for the invitation.
Oh, there was. I mean, she wanted to meet with you and alert you to how dire the situation with the Nightmare Lord was.
Okay. And then working off of what we were talking about, or what you were talking about with the progression to level 6, I would put a bug in her ear that I will be looking to increase my power at some point, and I would be humbled to spend some time with her to increase my proficiency as a druid.
Okay. She says, "Well, then perhaps on your way back from your trip, if your family would allow it, you could spend some more time with me."
There you go.
Okay. So after dinner then, you're just having casual conversation, talking about what it's like to be in the Fae and all that type of stuff. And you don't even realize it's happening, but the forest that you're in, it just fades away. And you're all sitting in the grass. And, and you're on the road to Mariasi. You're pretty far down the road to Mariasi. You feel like it probably saved you a half a day's travel.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Sweet.
So you guys are...
Hey, look what I can do.
Over here.
Yeah.
Free travel. Dig it.
So you continue on the rest of the way, and you get to the town of Mariasi. As you pull into the town, the runner with the message actually comes up running behind you. And he's like, hey, how'd you guys pick me here? He's a little weirded out by the whole thing.
I love it. That is so cool.
I was just about to ask, like, did we actually make time, or are we just super high from the mushrooms so we think we did? And then the runner came up.
Oh my gosh.
And we know we're high.
Both.
Why not both?
Absolutely both.
That's so funny.
I would just wink at him and tell him this is why you hired the Granitebacks. We're efficient. And a bit effervescent at the moment.
I am so proud of Phil.
I've been listening very closely to Mav for 5 levels.
Yes.
I still don't understand how it works, but I know what words to say. It's like a spell.
Yeah,
you
Phil,
learn what they do.
You're like a sociopath. You don't know how to emote, so you learn it from other people?
Sure, I was thinking more like a parrot, but this works too.
So, Mariasi is a cliffside town on the northern shores of the Angel Lake. It's got some fishing and transportation docks off to the side of it, but not a lot. The land to the north is wine country, and Mariasi Red is one of Crenshad's most common wines, thanks to the thorny grapevines that produce fruit year-round. Otherwise, there's very little of actual resource and industry here. It's more of a retired merchant's city with dozens of small shops and traders fulfilling the needs of the large populace. The area is sprinkled with tall willow trees and where was I at? Holy cow. Tall willow trees and it's thick with wild grape patches. And they don't grow in necessarily vines like they do here. They don't grow on arbors and on trellises. They grow into more like a tumbleweed shape, like a thicket of grapes. And the plants are very thorny, and if you're not careful when picking them, they can actually poison you and make you sick. So you guys would probably be okay because you're dwarves, but humans have to be careful picking them. There's also an abundance of flowering shrubs, cactuses, and grasses that grow closer to the lakeshore. Like most towns, it's got a resting house and a temple, a citadel for the troops, various shops, and a governor's palace.
All right, to the inn.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys stop at the inn, and there's a bunch of people hanging out in it.
Anyone of note or anyone that seems like they might be in the know? Anybody who either looks like they're keeping their mouth specifically shut or speaking a little too much?
Make a perception check.
Were we told to speak to someone specifically?
You were told to report to the governor.
Yeah, that's an 11.
Where was the burning house?
That's back in Illinois.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, not the burning house. The Oh, that was down south. The warlock guy.
Yeah, that was south.
Okay. What was the arrow on the map?
That's where they scouted out for the Sons of the Sphinx.
That was right. That's right.
We're at the inn right now. Where's the governor's house?
That is the trapezoidal shaped building to the south.
Okay.
So, with an 11, do I find anybody that seems,
No, you pick up a general feel that the town's kind of on edge at the moment. But you don't pick up on anybody in particular.
Good. I like that they're on edge. I'm gonna have Albert just kind of shake some sand out off of my shoulder as we enter or as we leave. Just helping that uneasiness. I'm not helping it get better. I'm just helping it.
Sure. Yeah, you help it along. So you guys step back out of the inn. Everybody's looking at you like you're all a bit strange for walking in and then walking right back out.
Are we gonna be here for a bit?
I don't know. It depends on you.
Well, I just mean, should we get a room for the night?
No, not until nighttime. If we need a room, we'll get one.
What time of day is it?
Day.
It's mid-morning.
Yeah, it was supposed to take us like a half day to get here, and instead we basically just got here.
It's more like a day and a half trip, but
Okay. Well, let's just make our way to the governor building.
okay. So you make your way into the governor's palace, and you meet with what's this joker's name? I didn't actually give him a name. You meet with the governor and Lev Medralani, the noble that your other teammates met with. And the governor, they're having a discussion when you first get in. The governor introduces himself and then excuses himself almost immediately and puts you in Lev's hands. And he's going to be the facilitator of whatever needs you have in town.
Did it seem like he didn't want to talk to us?
The governor? No, it didn't seem like that at all. He didn't brush you off. He was very polite and cordial. You felt like he might have had other business that he needed to attend to. But he definitely was not brushing you off.
Sounds about governor.
Okay. Yeah. Bye, Arnold.
Yeah.
Bye, random NPC.
I have to do the budget. I might have hung out longer if I had the name.
It's Arnold. Governor Arnold. Schwarzenegger.
No.
So Lev thanks you for coming, and as quickly as you came too. He hasn't even heard back from his messenger yet.
As the messenger walks in.
Yeah, he comes running in the door. Oh, man.
I'd repeat almost verbatim the thing I said before of that's why you hire Granitebacks. We're efficient. Like it's a slogan.
Yes.
He says, so I've seen, your other people did wonders for my daughter.
I'm gonna look at Thanok because I don't know the context. And at this point, I just assume that's what Thanok does.
So, now that you're here, I suppose you'll want to get right to the investigation then.
Oh, that's definitely not
yeah.
bad for that.
Maybe. I mean, unless got anything that he wants to tell us first, I feel like.
He's kind of waiting for you guys to ask questions. He would tell you that their investigation hasn't turned up much.
What have they done to investigate?
Well, they've asked around to the people who's on the list. Most of them live in town, or at some point have lived in town.
Well, okay, so there's a couple of questions. First off, where did this list come from? Like, where did it show up? Who found it?
They found it in the marketplace one morning. One of the street sweepers did. And he shows you the list, and it looks like it's written on a parchment that it's... Looking at it, it looks more like it's made of bark. Like somebody peeled a very large birch tree and wrote this list on it. It appears to be written in blood, and it is alphabetically backward.
By first name or last name?
By first name.
Can I do like an investigation check on the thing itself to see if I get any?
Well, I was going to look for specifics to see if I could tell how long the bark's been removed from the tree and what kind of blood it is.
Well, then somebody can do it at advantage.
Adam, what's your bonus?
+7 to investigation.
Same here. Go ahead.
Nice. 25. That's solid. It looks... You take it, and as you go to take it, Lev tells you to be careful with it. It's quite old from what they can tell. And you would agree with that assessment, that this... decades old, maybe longer. The corners of it, if you bump a corner, it crumbles a little bit at the corner.
So the bark is decades old, or the tree that...
The bark.
The bark itself.
The item
bark
itself is old. The blood, it's way too old to tell exactly what kind of blood it is, but it's definitely a red-blooded creature.
Can we tell what kind of... I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell, but Phil, can you tell what kind of tree this came from?
It's probably one of the willows or palms that grow in the area. It's pretty easy to make a match to that. They have very similar barking.
So he said everyone on the list does or has lived here at one point in time, or most?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yep.
The people who. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna ask that in a second. The bark. I'm still trying to figure out why somebody would write on bark. It's not a
Common media.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, unless you're writing like how much you love your girlfriend or your boyfriend.
If
If
we turn it over, did the blood seep through, or does it look like they rolled on that side of the bark?
No, it doesn't. It's only on the one side. It's on the what would be the inside of the peel.
Is there any? Would I know? Is there any bark that's used as a spell reagent?
Make an Arcana check.
You can do that advantage because that would help you.
Yeah, right, you might get a 20, and then you can roll a d10 and throw it on there. Oh, still a good roll. Yeah, there are various tree pieces and barks and things like that are used as components and spells. Most natural things have at least one reagent property to them. Typically poisonous. Sometimes though it's medicinal and other things like that. But something like this kind of escapes your personal knowledge, but it's not out of bounds of something more akin to warlockery or witchcraftism.
Yeah,
Mike?
I mean, it's just. Go ahead, yeah.
I just say, during this investigation, can I pretty much be casting guidance on everybody?
Yeah, sure.
When we're doing these checks?
Yep, absolutely.
So you can add a d4 to your rolls.
Okay. Cool.
For skill checks.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, and I would be sharing this with the group, but I can't think of. This is on purpose. This is a very purposeful note. This isn't like, let me just grab a napkin and write some lyrics before I forget it. This is like a very specific note that's written on a very specific medium.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my calligraphy skills to determine what what was used to write these names? Like, was it a finger? Was it a brush?
Make a check. That's pretty solid. Based on the scratchings in the bark and how weird some of the penmanship comes off, you're pretty sure that a knife was used to write these.
Did the knife apply the blood, or did it draw it out of the bark?
That you would not be able to tell.
Well, if the bark bleeds, that's a big deal.
Well, it's more likely the knife applied it, but
you never know.
Is it like,
go ahead.
Is it like only blood on the writing, or is there like drops of blood where you might have ink drop off of?
No, it is only on the writing.
All right, let's get
Is
back
the
to
wood
bark.
magical?
Somebody would have to cast detect magic.
Oh, I can do that. I can do that as a ritual.
Okay, sweet.
Phil's just gonna be in the back casting.
Yeah. While you guys are making all your other checks, Filbert can be doing that. It is definitely magical.
Do I know what kind?
It is. Filbert, you are very familiar with this kind of magic. It is fey magic. It is heavy in conjuration and divination. This thing is pumping out some serious juice.
it's still pumping out juice.
Yes.
Do
Like
we
magical
have a lead
juice. Like
case?
that's what I'm saying. It is.
Yes,
It is
yeah.
powerfully magical.
Can Mav absorb it?
You shouldn't do that.
Want Mav to absorb it.
Yeah, you probably
That's
shouldn't.
probably
I'm
a bad
just.
So the people, what happened to the people whose names are crossed out?
No one knows.
So they just disappeared.
And Lev will tell you when we first found the list, none of the names were crossed off. After
Okay.
they disappeared, their name
names.
showed up crossed off. That's actually how they found out they were missing. A name was crossed off. They went to check on the person and they can't find him.
That's good.
Okay.
Other questions? Yes. The ones who are missing were all living in town at the time. Most of the people who are missing don't have families. One of them has an elderly wife. They're all older. The only other
All the people on the
commonality I
list
just
are
gave
older?
you is that they're older folks. Well, sort of. If they're humans, they're older. If they're dwarves, they're Dal's age. So, like 75, 80, which isn't old for a dwarf, but it is for humans.
The names in the list. What species are they?
Dwarves and humans.
They're all dwarves and humans. There's no other races.
Correct.
Like the three who are missing are okay. The list is alphabetically reversed order. Do they know like? They would probably know the age. Like, is there any order to this? Like, have they been able to like determine an order of the three names that of the people who are missing? Like, they were the three oldest of all the people on that list, or anything like that? Then
No, they don't seem to have enough information as far as that type of stuff goes to put together a pattern. There isn't an easily recognizable one, at least, from the people that have disappeared.
the only commonality is that all and mostly.
How long ago did this list show up?
About 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so Dalazine doesn't live here,
But he did.
But
he did.
used to.
Yeah.
but the people who are disappearing while they're here.
The three so far all lived here.
Who else on the list doesn't live here?
There would be two other names on the list that don't live there. Let me pop open the list.
Theodosia.
No, Theseus and
I also love the chain jaw.
Theseus and Demos do not live here anymore.
Okay, did you see my question in there, Mike?
I did. I'm getting to it. I'm trying to highlight the ones I just told you so that I can reference them later if I need to. It seems that's hard to tell. Maybe both.
I was kind of trying to figure out if maybe this was a thing we could use to find people, because you said it has divination, which is finding people. It has conjuration, which is teleportation, and drawing things between the planes and creating things. I'm trying to figure out if it's using people for its power supply to achieve something.
You haven't been able to study it long enough to figure that out. It does look like the magic is flowing out of it, though.
Not into it.
It's so hard to say. This sucker is a bright spot. It's like staring at the sun.
I would ask if anybody has a lead case that we can buy in town.
Oh yeah, that would be easy enough to come by.
And I want to put this in there while we're not examining it.
Call.
Okay. Lev says yes. Let's head over to the marketplace immediately. We can get a case there. And I do have funds from the governor to supply any of your needs like this, or if you require housing while you're in town, we have a room set aside for you at the inn.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Sweet.
So you head over to the marketplace.
One other thing, is anybody able to cast alarm on the box for opening
I
it?
am. I can fill it with mushrooms.
That's
Just
bad.
one. Just one is fine.
Oh no, it's a whole grove.
What?
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 His alarm symbol
Mushrooms.
takes the shape of mushrooms.
Shriekers,
Okay.
little shriekers.
Okay.
Yep, shrieking mushrooms. So, all right.
Because
So
what else would I do with it?
he takes you over to the blacksmith, who happens to be one of the people on the list. He's a dwarf named who's that guy?
Theodosia.
No, Troll Shield. Buzzner. Troll Shield. And he grabs Lev buys a chest from another guy locally, takes it over to Buzzner, and Buzzner installs a lead lining in it. So he leads up the box. And he looks at you and he's like, that gonna stop me from disappearing.
That's the plan. By the way, where did you post that list? I can't find it. I saw it earlier, but I don't remember what channel it's in.
I think it's in Thursday.
I think it's in
In-game,
game,
but
but
not
not Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Who's
We
this
are
guy's name?
certainly hoping that will be the case.
Yeah, me too. I'd really like to not disappear.
I mean, on the plus side, if you do disappear, you wouldn't really know you disappeared.
Unless they just take me someplace and I do know that I've disappeared.
Yes, but we won't know that you know. So at least there's that.
I guess if you look at it from that direction.
God.
Filbert has no idea what's happening.
Nope, too easy.
So who knows about this list? Everybody in town at this point?
Yeah, the town's definitely been talking about it.
How long ago did they go disappearing?
Seems like about every 4 days.
Every 4 days. How long has it been since?
It has not been a standard time, but give or
Yeah,
take.
because you said the list showed up 2 weeks ago, and that was actually one of the other questions I was going to ask. How far apart were the disappearances? Well, how much time was it since the last disappearance?
3 days.
Oh.
So Tony is a bit gun shy on this spell, but does Filbert feel like Dispel Magic would help at all?
You would know that your regular crack at Dispel Magic is probably not beefy enough to handle whatever's pumping out of this thing.
Okay.
Or it's probably warded and it's going to attack you.
Right, but we have a warded bag too that might attack us, and we can keep playing with that. So.
Oh,
Not wrong.
I haven't done this yet. I've been meaning to do this. Is there that warded bag? Can I have had identified that at some point?
Oh shoot, I forgot all about that.
So did I. I think about it when I'm not by the computer to say something about it.
Filbert thinks about it all the time.
I am not at this juncture, right at this very moment, prepared to open up that can of worms.
Okay.
So we can definitely do that. Shoot me put it in Discord, and I will.
Okay.
I will handle it shortly thereafter.
Okay.
Because yeah, that's definitely sidetracking.
Okay.
What? We would never do that.
This group never did.
Never, ever. Okay, so I just
Definitely
shared the
not.
list with you.
I know you guys came up with this list, but we got bag.
Delicious bag.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So now you have a picture of the list. I just copied it into the game.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Definitely much easier to read here, too.
Is there anything else that you guys want to ask Lev or do here in the marketplace? Or I know you're all thinking desperately about the terrible things Mike does to you.
What are you targeting there?
People we've met with are marked on the left. People that don't live in town anymore are marked on the right.
Excellent, thank you.
People.
Yeah, we met Busner. He's the blacksmith.
Yep.
Met him?
So,
When?
I mean, I have all kinds of ridiculous theories in this. Filbert isn't me. Filbert really just wants to know where they've all gone. So, he's gonna just start finding all of these people and marking them somehow.
Okay.
I don't know how. I'll figure that out in a minute while you guys do something.
Let's the people who live in town, would we have permission to go through their things?
Absolutely.
So
The living
let's
people
just-
or the missing people?
the missing people.
Yep. Missing people, absolutely. Living people, probably.
Okay. So
Yeah,
let's
people who are on this list must be freaking out.
yeah. Let's just start with the top name, Vasia.
Okay.
What's her name?
Is that
Fazia.
Harris?
Vazia
Okay.
Valhu.
Okay.
So you had Lev takes you over to her place. It's
What?
she's a human woman. She was her husband had died a few years back. So she was widowed. Her
Missing.
house seems to be in a perfect state. You know, nothing's out of place at all. She's got a small garden out back. Grows her own grapevines and bushes. Most people here do. A couple other flowering things. Inside, she's got standard furniture and decor. She wasn't overly wealthy. Even though this town is mostly wealthy people, she has a pretty modest home.
Okay. And Lev is with us.
Yep.
Alright,
Who-
upon arriving here, I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
I was just gonna ask that. Who does Lev have? What kind of skills does Lev have access to? As far as like, is there anybody in town that knows any magic? Is anybody in town that are there any clerics in
Yeah.
town?
Well,
that
he's
you
one
would-
of the high-ranking nobles in the area,
Okay.
and he there's a couple of magic users probably about your levels of capability, and there's the local cleric who's probably about the same.
Who have any of them looked here? Like, have anybody?
Yes.
I don't want to repeat the same things that other people have done and haven't found anything. So,
The house was given a once over by the few town guards that are still stationed here, even though most are off in military encampments at this time. And they didn't turn up anything. They did not have it magically investigated yet. Until they sent for you guys, they were not aware that there was a magical problem.
Okay, fair enough.
They
Okay,
just
so-
assumed this was a hit list of some kind, and so they were investigating it as so.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so Phil is doing detect magic on this.
Yep.
While he is doing that, I will just do a quick investigation, see if I find
Sure.
anything.
Filbert, make a perception check for me.
Probably not. With guidance?
Yeah, you guys can get guidance
Yep.
on your skill checks.
Great,
awesome. It's enough though that 14.
Oh,
wasn't.
good.
You find it's very out of place for the rest of the knickknacks that she keeps. She has a little carved building with a dock on the end of it.
What's it made out of?
Wood.
Same kind of wood as the bark?
It's pretty hard to tell. Bark and actual wood have a pretty different feel to them. Filbert,
I got 24.
the grape thicket in the backyard is radiating fey conjuration magic.
Guys, The Fae is here.
Hmm.
And I'll lead them out to the thicket.
All right, you guys walk out to the thicket in the back, and I'm going to need you to roll initiative, as they're hard to explain style creatures erupt out of this grape thicket and begin to swirl around and attack you guys. And
where do I end up?
Oh no!
In the thicket.
We'll
in
get
the
to
thicket.
that. We are going to use this lower corner of the Illinois map here. Not the Illinois, the Mariasi map. And so we'll just pretend this is the lady's backyard.
Mav is going first. Oh my gosh, guys. This is not good.
You guys are all right here, huddled together, and these viney snake-like creatures with glowing bodies made of grapes are swirling around the area.
Oh, that's good.
And so, Mav, you're up first.
I don't. Did you want a direction, Mike?
You're right. I was just one. So, whoop, you're up on top of her house.
Oh, good.
Well, let's just do this. Oh,
Just Filbert disappears.
Yeah, you shoot a guiding bolt at that thing, and they're quick.
I would like to use Divine Precision and add 10 to that
Sure
attack.
can. Then you will definitely nail it.
Attaboy. Good job, Bastion.
All I heard was, I would like to hit anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right, so you blast Wisp number 1, and it looks rough. You hit it hard. And Filbert, you're up on the roof.
I'm up? What?
Yeah,
I
you're
rolled a 9. How bad did you guys roll? Good.
I rolled a 10. Naturally.
I rolled a 7.
You're all so good at this.
You were all better than the monsters. I guess that makes a difference.
At least
I've had one roll this whole campaign that was in the teens for initiative, okay?
I think I'm behind Othig every time.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Filbert, for map's sake, you are only 10 feet off the ground.
Thank you, sir.
So you could hop down there with no damage with a successful dex save, and the DC would not be high.
Filbert's been hit a lot in his life. Oh no.
While you're up there, can I just use my reaction to laugh at you and go, remember when you fell on your head?
That was Othig.
No, that was Filbert.
When?
Oh, you were the one. No, Othig fell on his head.
It was Othig who
Filbert
fell off
was
the
the
roof
one who
and fell on
broke
his
the
head.
thing.
Yeah.
Who broke the You broke the
grain elevator.
Grain elevator. That's what you did.
Yep, that was me. So I'm just gonna turn into a tiger. I'm gonna pounce off of this thing onto this thing.
I
Nice.
almost broke the whole silo.
Pounce. Wait, where? Which one did you attack?
Number 1, not 2.
Oh, well, somebody else can have the advantage. I'll miss it.
Yep. They're quick. They zip around.
So that'll bring me down here. That'll end my turn.
All right. Thana.
For what it's worth, I'm not gonna attack him. But for what it's worth, Vine Wisp 1, it doesn't have advantage. He should.
Oh. That's true.
I will go here. Yep. Number. comes. Here it
Here
comes.
comes the Knight of Misses. Nope. There we go.
There we go. That's it.
All right. Othig.
Can I elect to go before Mav?
What do you mean?
Like, you want to wait until everybody else has moved before you attack?
I want to wait until all the enemies have moved.
No, no, you cannot.
Okay.
I mean, you could, but
You could hold
your
your-
combat turn would be gimped. You'd only get to
Yeah.
attack once, and that's just
No, that's fine.
not smart.
That's fine. I'm going to charge number.
Okay.
Yeah, I am going to charge number 3. Actually,
Mav has
I'ma
this
do it.
nice advantage sitting out there, and no one's using it.
Oh, I will
just
be
not
using it
yet,
next
not
round.
yet.
Yeah, we will.
I don't think I could have
Alright.
punched that far.
Well, good thing you missed.
Oh my god!
Speaking of misses,
Yeah.
Oh,
but you do hit him on the second swing.
well, that's good. I should probably target him. Also, he'll probably be cool. And then we'll
Whop it pretty good.
butt swing. Yeah. Yep.
And you whop it again.
It didn't go down.
Nope, it did not go down.
Oh well. Okay. Then
All
I
right.
guess I'm done.
So it is their turn now, and they begin to whisper. You hear them whisper. They say things like, "Defilers, your debt is due. Your children shall suffice as payment." And I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
How do you have a +9 to your damage?
Who?
You.
That's to his hit. No, that is damage. That's a good question.
Charger.
Oh,
That was Charger.
Charge does extra.
he gets to add extra damage. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just to the one attack.
Filbert. What's the 3 for?
I rolled a natural 20. Isn't that what we
got
do?
it. And I'm waiting on that
Sorry,
one
it was
right
me.
there.
Oh,
Thanak.
Thanak.
Yeah, well, you know how it is.
Thanak, you are mesmerized by
Of
their
course.
movements and their voices, and you are currently stunned.
He wants to give up his and Marilee's firstborn child to them.
I knew it. We keep sending her on missions, and she's got a kid. This is bad.
All right, so this one's going to come in after Mav. Mav, what's your AC?
Ryan, make an attack.
Yeah, I would like to actually.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly what I was hoping.
He's trying to save himself.
Add advantage.
Andy's defense is his perception.
13, by the way, is my...
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good
Boom.
thing that...
Boom, baby. Saved him. I saved you.
All right, Filbert, Wisp 2 is going to miss you. And
Got him.
Where's Wisp 3? That's the one fighting Othig. Othig, what's your AC?
17 now.
17. Haha, I'm going to hit you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as this thing tries to force itself into your mouth.
Oh, gross.
Oh.
Ugh, super gross.
I don't like these things anymore.
I think it might.
It
Does it?
actually doesn't. It gets real darn close. The save
Oh,
is
good.
12, so you just hit
That's
the
gross.
you hit the DC, but it is trying to get into your mouth. Let's
Yep.
see. 4 is got advantage on Thanak.
Both things gonna try to breathe through his nose for
Oh, you also took 4 points of damage, Ryan. Sorry.
his mouth. Okay.
Thanak, what's your AC?
20.
Even stunned, this stupid thing can't get in there.
Dude, you have some decks? Are you rolling some decks?
No.
And
What? Where'd you get the extra 3 from?
Shield.
One
He's
is from defense, one is from shield.
All right, and the other two miss. The other one who goes after Thanak. Oh, actually, I get advantage on that, so he might not miss. It wasn't nat 1, but that's still not going to hit you. You are paralyzed with your mouth clamped shut. And they're just trying to get in, and they can't.
They're just bouncing off my beard.
Yep. All right, Mav, you're up.
Seeing the state in which he is, Mav is going to provide a bit of assistance to his buddy.
No, don't worry about me. They can't hit me anyways.
And give him +2 to AC.
Filbert.
Filbert's gonna pounce on this one. I don't leave this one's attack radius, so
Okay.
it should leave me okay there, but that'll give me my pounce attack on number 4.
Right on.
And I'll miss, because I'm a big dumb cat.
Oh.
You're trying not to land on Thanok's face, because this thing is trying to get into his mouth, much like a man's seed tries to get into a woman's egg.
If I don't try to not land on Thanak, and I have advantage.
Thank you for that.
No, you cannot. But I've been waiting all day to use that imagery.
I tried to ignore it.
Hey, Mike, you've been waiting all day to use.
Hey,
Why?
Mike.
Because it's real funny.
I'm gonna give you an inspiration.
Oh man,
That's right up there.
You
with
may make another saving throw.
But is it what is it? Wisdom?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be here all day. It's fine.
Nope.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Othig.
Okay, well, I'm gonna attack number 6 person and hopefully butt swing 3 and kill him. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, there's a crit. That's a solid hit too.
Okay. Well, do you want me to roll? How do you want me to roll? Attack, butt swing, right?
You only get one butt swing.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, hey, also,
Okay.
he rolled a 20. What do we do for that? It gets an extra. What does he get for that?
He gets to roll a 20 again, and depending on what he rolls, things get better.
He has to do that.
Nope, nothing gets better.
Nothing gets better.
Okay.
Worse.
And
Gosh,
you have a normal attack.
Yeah, normal attack and butt swing. So I guess it really doesn't matter which here. So whatever.
There's another crit.
Or not. Oh my god. Just insane.
Othig is off lopping off heads again.
I'm just a big dumb cat.
Oh my god.
And another critical hit. So,
Oh hey, it gets better. Wait, no, I can't do that. Never mind.
you can't do what?
I was gonna dash.
Oh.
I can't dash though.
No,
I
you
cannot dash. But I am gonna move. No, actually, I'm not gonna move yet. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm done.
All right. Let's see. I got 3 wisps. Wisp 2 attacks Filbert and misses. And they have advantage, so get to reroll that. And one of them manages to finally wiggle its way into Thanok's
With a
face.
22?
It's a 22.
Yeah, I got a 19 on the dice. So,
Ah.
yep, just enough to get him. So Thanok, I need a Constitution saving throw. That's about
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Oh, it's enough. Your plus 6 is
yeah,
enough.
That's enough.
Oh,
That's
so,
enough.
Even stunned, you're so terrified of what this creature wants to do to you that your throat has just swollen shut.
How much damage did I take?
I didn't roll it yet. 3.
Your throat became engorged.
Mav, you're up.
Mav is going to troll the web.
They will fail. Boom.
Hey, that's 2 dice. That's 2 dice now.
That's 2 dice now.
2 dice now.
Is it?
It is.
Filbert,
Yeah,
you're up.
I'm a cat.
Congrats, dude.
Yep, you are.
So matter
I'm
of fact.
trying to be as useful as my character. Give me a moment. I miss! Meow! And I just, I'm just gonna start, doing that thing where cats clean themselves. And I feel like that'll be more helpful. So that's what I'm gonna do.
For you or the group?
Yes.
Yes.
Thanak. That's enough. You are
Is it?
no longer stunned.
Is that the end of my turn?
That is at the end of your turn, though. Othing.
All right. Well, let's see. Can't get to bummer, dude. That's okay. I'll charge number 5. I will charge number. Hit it again.
Well, that's another critical for Othing. Oh, that has to be a butt swing. Don't you only get... No, never mind. Charger uses your reaction, so you don't get a butt swing.
No, No. That's.
Oh,
wait.
Yeah. Hang on.
You only get one attack though.
No, yeah, but I still get the butt swing. Yeah, that is right. That should have been.
No, you don't get the butt swing.
Why?
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait.
How does that work?
As your action, you dash, and when you dash, you get to make an attack as
You
part
use,
of.
yeah.
It's
You use
that's right.
Do you? You just use.
Wait. So how does that work with? Oh, so you don't get your. So it's actually worse to do charger now with that extra attack.
If it's far enough away.
What do you mean? It doesn't change based on distance.
No, if somebody's too far away for you to not be able to attack them, you can still attack them.
Yeah, I shouldn't have charged because it's not advantageous anymore.
And that's fine.
Okay, do you want to take off the? It was like +5. Then can we just take off?
Yep.
I
He'd
think I
be
still.
unconscious.
You killed it by 5. Yeah, so it's still down. It's unconscious.
Okay, then I just want to use the rest of my movement to use my butt swing on.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry if that was so confusing.
No, that's okay. It's a confusing feat. Oh no.
Oh no.
The dice have repaid you for your confusion. With a critical.
They also probably repaid me for all the good rolls that I just had.
Yep. Alright, so the last 2 wisps. Filbert, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay.
You take 6
14.
points of damage, and you clamp your tiger jaws down real hard. And it is now Mav's turn.
Troll the dead.
That's a fail. Boom.
Nice.
I'll put an end to that one.
And
Phil has been relatively useless so far, so he's gonna parkour off this building and then just suplex onto this wisp and see if adding a little showboating helps him in cat form, and we'll see what happens.
Adam, did you hear that? Phil just hit him with a blitz.
It didn't.
He didn't do it.
I'm just gonna lie down over here.
Filbert has that moment where a cat is jumping after a fly and lands in the blinds in the house.
between the wall and the couch.
Yep. He's now flailing around in the blinds.
He's trapped in the screen door set.
Thanak, you're up.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, look at that. We're all
Thanak is
getting crit today.
upset that he...
So
Look at
freaking
that
good.
damage.
Oh my gosh. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Just ridiculous.
That's it for me.
Oh man.
Alright, so Thanak beats that one pretty good. Othig,
Sweet.
why don't you round it out and just kill all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
You got me.
I think...
I
Mav got
killed
one.
one, thank you.
Yeah,
Killed
Mav got
one.
one.
Boom.
And that's gonna do it. So you watch as all these wisps hit the ground, and the grapes begin to peel open and leak out, and the vines shrivel and just kind of wither, and they look like a pile of dead, thorny plants.
Can I put anything together from the whispers we heard of your children will be enough? Did somebody make some kind of contract here that they shouldn't have? Filbert's dealt with a few contracts now.
Well, make a insight check at advantage.
Okay.
At advantage, because you're a cat.
I have, yeah. I got a 26.
All right. So you believe from the language being used here that someone defiled a place sacred to some fey creatures.
I'm familiar with that activity.
That's why they'd be called defilers. And when they did that, there was a debt to be paid. It wasn't paid, and so now they're claiming children.
Oh, good. Let's go find it.
They're claiming children, but all these people are very old.
This is true.
Which means this happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You aged 200 years in a year.
What?
To you, it was 250 years to me.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
What the time?
You're talking to a cat.
I'm talking to Phil.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I'm talking to Othing. Time in the Fae is not relative.
Yeah. No, I know that.
So this,
Yeah.
it's not a one-on-one race. So just
Yeah,
because,
I understand what you're saying.
yeah. So I mean, this could be a recent event for them.
Yeah.
Well, knowing what I know about the Fae, am I able to do a little bit of tracking around and use Albert a little bit and find an epicenter of this shenaniganry as far as the locations of the homes of the people and where I feel like this might be, or if there's a correlation between them to who they know.
I love this train of thought. Before you do that, though, can you find out if this, because you came across this, I don't know if we looked out here, but something caused you to find out what was going on with this garden area back here. Can you see if that's the case with the other two people who are missing from this town? If
we can certainly try if we make it there in under 10 minutes, because that would mean my detect magic is still going, because I'm a cat. I can move real fast. Let's go.
But I can cast it too, so it's fine.
Sure, but I'm still going to sprint off because I'm a cat.
Yeah, that's fine.
To Orchid Crack's house.
I'm just thinking that might help you determine exactly what you said before.
Yeah, so you head over to the other homes, and without approaching them this time, you definitely see the other bushes are glowing magical. Filbert, make another perception check for me. And I forgot, everybody, because this would have happened back at the other place. There would have been something to notice.
20.
Who else?
Said all of us can roll perception?
Yep. One of you can have, what do you call it? Guidance. Because you're all making this at the same... No, you wouldn't. Not on this. Because you don't know you're looking for it.
I'm a cat. I got 20.
Okay. Who didn't roll?
Mav. I don't know what he's doing.
Perception check, Mav. Sorry.
I think he's working.
He's being exactly what is actually happening. Filbert, before you dash off as a cat, you're looking at the bush, the what was left of the grape bush that they came out of. Now these bushes are quite large. They're almost 4 feet tall, and it looks like the stump is a person. humanoid to some degree. You can definitely make out facial features. They're very twisted, like almost like if a tree actually grew up like a person, kind of tree beardish. And,
Sorry.
and the you can definitely make out arms. There's a head and arms, but it looks like the waist is buried.
Does it look like maybe a person turned into this? Like it might actually be Vazia?
Ryan wants you to click on this dice.
It's really hard to tell.
Chat.
Does it look feminine?
No,
Yes,
I'm not
it does.
kidding.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Oh.
Can I am I familiar with this ever happening in my face?
Yep, right there.
No, it doesn't matter. He didn't qualify it. He just had to roll it.
You do know that the Fae have transformed mortals into all manner of things.
Okay. That's bad. The thing is still in the box. The box is where? Who has the lead box?
One of you has the lead box.
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. Mav can have it.
Mav has it. So I would pester Mav and see if I can get him to pull out the thing and see if it reacts differently here in the presence of this space than it did when we were not by it.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. And when you open it up, there is another name scratched out.
Oh, balls.
Oh.
And Lev, oh dear. Oh dear. That's the innkeeper.
Let's go to the innkeeper.
Why? There's just going to be... meow.
Okay, let's go to the innkeeper. Who knows? But the innkeeper was at the inn, and at the inn there were more people. So maybe somebody saw something.
They're all dead. Let's go. Meow.
Okay. So you go to the inn, and there's a bunch of people hollering around for Zinnon, and they can't find him. Zinnon.
Start asking some questions like, hey, when was the last time... Well, how long have we been here? Because we saw him when we first got here.
A couple hours.
Yeah, a few hours.
Okay, so when was the last time that anyone saw him?
10 minutes ago.
Where did they see?
He said he was going out back to draw some water.
No.
All right, well, let's go up back.
We're getting the drop on these ones.
I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Okay.
As a ritual, so I got 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're like,
Is mine still going?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I mean, we used
I'm gonna
that
look-
corner of the map, but you guys were kind of on the other side of town.
Fair enough. Can I make a perception check to see if I can find another stump as we approach this space?
Oh, there's definitely another thorny grape bush out in the back, not far from the well at all. Actually, it's in a really, really odd spot.
Cool. I'm casting Dispel Magic on it.
Okay, so you pop up out of tiger form and you nail it with Dispel Magic. Please make a roll.
You're going to dispel the magic that I'm trying to detect?
Meow.
Thanks.
I don't know what I'm going to add to that, but I'm sure it's not enough.
Nope, it's not. It does not take hold, and 6 more of the wisps come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody make 2 Constitution saving throws. And we will just resolve the event this way. Thanok's okay.
oh.
I ate them both. That's a 10.
Phil's pregnant. Phil's mouth pregnant.
Ow.
Probably.
So gross.
Well, assuming they can hit me, I do have a 19 AC. So.
Well, we're just rolling it out, just for things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we can do the combat all over again, but that's just a kind of a waste of time and not as much fun. Filbert, one of them does make its way into you.
Yep, I'm used to that. That's okay.
Oddly enough, this is an experience somewhat familiar to you. When you used to hang out with She Who Dances on Smooth Stones, a lot of the Fey spirits would imbue you like this. But back then it was definitely more voluntary, because the creatures were peaceable. You feel awful.
Phil's been mouth pregnant before.
Gosh, that is so gross. Oh my gosh.
I just want to really appreciate all of the juvenile things this campaign has done.
This campaign or this group has done?
Well, this chapter of our campaign. It's been...
This is what happens when we have 2 years of Realms of Terror.
Yes.
This is just the release of all of that.
Yeah. This is
a release, you say, almost like mouth pregnant.
Yes.
This is me bringing you back to normal.
Yeah, because mouth pregnant is...
Filbert, did I tell you took 4 damage?
No.
You took 4 damage and you feel bad. You, even as a dwarf, you have the poisoned condition.
All right. Do I feel like I know how long?
Nope, you don't.
Well, then I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on myself, burn another spell slot.
It has no effect.
Awesome. I'm just going to lie down and take a nap. That's awesome.
What do you guys want to do?
They're all gone?
They are all gone. We killed them all.
Did that interrupt my detect magic?
No, you still get your detect magic off.
Okay. Is there anything different, anything fresh that had...
Nope, but now that you know what you're looking for, this stump is clearly in the shape of a man.
You got turned into a stump?
I mean, you might be able to dig down and verify that it's a man to get into the root system, but you're pretty sure this is a dude.
Whoa!
Well, I don't want to start digging just in case we start cutting him up.
Filbert starts using mold earth and just excavates the dirt while he's lying on his back staring at the sky.
It's you uncover the entire bush. It is definitely the root system is. It's a guy.
Do the roots attach to more roots that are like scattered about, or does it seem localized to just
you could
this
actually, using mold earth long enough, you could remove this plant.
Doing
it. Don't. That's
no, we should collect them all and bring them together so we can make one giant angry bush that'll eat us all.
It's not Voltron.
No, it's not. It's plain.
No, we should leave them exactly where they are for now.
I'll put the dirt back.
Because it's entirely possible that part of this curse is, or whatever you want to call it, is
gonna curse us?
No, I just don't want to. I don't.
I throw up on your shoes.
Messing around with it could cause them harm.
I'm pretty sure they're already harmed. This dude's a tree. My mushrooms don't even do that.
I'll look at your arm.
That was your fault.
Okay. But yeah, no, I don't think we should mess with this for the time being until we know more about what we're doing. What about Phil? You said something about their parents.
Yeah. So these guys did a thing. They pissed off the Fae, and now the Fae came to collect. We just need to find the Fae that they made mad.
Okay, so who are their parents?
I don't know. The ones that birthed them.
Is Lev around? Lev still here?
Yeah, Lev is still here.
Is there a
He
record
hangs
of their
out in the
parents?
back when the wisps come out, but he's still here.
Okay. Is there a record of their parents?
Well, most of them are dead. These
Most
humans.
of them.
Well, they're humans, and these people are 65, 75 years old. Their parents are all long dead.
Yeah.
Not the dwarves.
But the
Yes.
the dwarves. He starts going through the list. He says, "Let's see. Khalid has moved out of town and now lives north of Illinois. Ori Red Rock. No, his parents have left as well. Troll Shield and Chainjaw both have parents living here in town."
Split up, and we'll talk to them each.
Whose parents are these again?
Chainjaw and Troll Shield.
Okay, so I guess I'm kind of misunderstanding because I thought maybe we were trying to find out like the ancestral line, like origin for whose parents that are affecting all these people who they're the
All of
children
them.
of.
All of their parents are. That's why
don't-
we're going to go talk to the parents that are still in town that are alive.
I don't think it's like one.
It's not like okay, right.
What I think happened is that
Because I started thinking like, okay, so a human and a dwarf had children?
No.
which happens, but
I
they
mean,
wouldn't
it
do this.
does, but
Yeah.
No, I think what happened is that their parents all knew each other and made a deal.
Collectively,
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form, and that's why this is happening. Okay.
Yeah.
In it.
All right.
okay. So who do you
Okay.
want to visit?
Can you
Chainjaw
hear
and
me?
Troll Shield, or do you want to split
Yeah,
up?
now we can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes,
can
now
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Okay.
Let's go back to the troll shield. He was the. We already talked to him, didn't we?
Yeah. he's
Forge
the
Master.
Yeah. So let's go ask him. If he.
Where his parents are?
Yeah, where his parents are.
I mean, the dude that's with us can probably.
Oh, he knows where they are. Yeah. So let's just Let's just go talk to them.
Okay. So he takes you to. Are you splitting up, or do you want to go one and then another?
I think we should stay together.
Yeah,
Alright.
I think we may as well stay together.
Alright.
We probably have about 4 days.
So he tells you that
Hopefully it doesn't take that long.
the Chainjaw house is closer. So he takes
Okay.
you there, and a woman answers the door. An older dwarven woman. She's probably 200 years old at this point. She's got dark gray braided hair, a bit of stubble on her face, which isn't unusual for dwarven women, but whatever. And half of her jaw is metal.
Yes.
Yeah. And she says, "What do you want?" Clank, clank, clank.
Clank, clank, clank.
It's like it might be metal, but it doesn't sound robotic.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I just ask her.
I think we should just tell her like what we think we know and find out like from her. Just be straight about it and be like, "Did your parents make some sort of deal with any fae?"
Well, this would
No,
have been
not
her.
her parents. This would be her.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then her.
She looks at the ground and, "You had best come in."
Okay, let's come in.
And she tells you a story. About 60 years ago, a group of people from various small villages and towns around the area that eventually all settled, for the most part, in Mariasi, attempted to found a small fishing village to the east. After they had already built many of their buildings, they were visited by a woman who told them to leave. They refused, and she said that they would pay for their transgressions and for defiling this place. And then after that, the village started to experience all sorts of weird phenomenon. Buildings would collapse. A very large wave. She calls it a tidal wave, but that's almost impossible on the lake. Hit the village, washed out a bunch of buildings, sank one of their largest fishing vessel, and basically they were all forced to flee. And as they were fleeing, they saw this woman back down in the town square and said that and she screamed out that the price had not been paid.
So this is a place east of Mariasi that was originally going to be Mariasi?
No, Mariasi was already there, but it was a much smaller city at the time. These folks were looking to found another town nearby.
Okay. But she has no idea, like, what the debt is?
She doesn't. And she said, honestly, she'd heard about the disappearances in the list, but since nobody had really seen the list, she'd never put two and two together. And now that you're here asking about the Fae, and she, that was the common theory of the time, is that they were chased away by the Fae.
Okay, so this place is east from here. Has anyone ever gone back there, or has anyone?
People have gone back there to loot it and things like that. Some of them make it back, some of them don't. And so they've put a couple of danger signs up along the cliff edge that leads down to the village, and people for the most part stay away.
All right, well, Phil, if we are going to pay this Fae a visit, what would be the most appropriate way to introduce ourselves peacefully?
Where does it live?
Well, the village was a shoreline village.
Down by the water? Yeah. Down on the lake to the east.
So it probably lives in the water?
They're not sure. She would tell you that they'd only seen it on the land. But perhaps because a lot of the damage came from the water.
Would I have any insight as to the proper method to greet a creature such as?
You would need to know more what kind of creature it was. From the way she describes it, it was an attractive woman. So you're thinking maybe a nymph, maybe a water sprite that took on a human form. It could be something much darker than that, though. It could be a Rusalka. It could be a siren. A lot of the dark fae can take on pleasant guises.
Oh, okay.
So you'd really need to know what kind it was. And you would also know that the tribute needed to be paid would have to equal to how much it was offended. And so if it's got a list of 20 children's names, it was royally ticked off.
Yeah.
Should we go try to find it then, or?
Well,
you're kind of making it sound like it's impossible for us to even approach.
Not necessarily, but I think it would be a good idea to find out as much as we can before we go out there.
Yeah, what else can we find out, though?
The place is pretty much abandoned. Like I said, some people try to go there looking for stuff to scavenge. Some of them make it back. Some of them disappear. Chainjaw and Troll Shield, if you went and talked to them, wouldn't be able to give you much more information. They haven't been back in over 60 years.
Is there a record of who the most recent person was?
That disappeared going there?
That came back.
No, it was just some random adventurers.
Okay.
And there's nothing else Phil can tell us?
Not until he knows more.
Because he doesn't know.
I mean, Phil could tell you a lot, and he's probably rambling about all the stuff that he knows, but until he knows exactly what it is.
He's definitely rambling.
But he's not going to figure that out from being around here, like...
No, we need all of us to get poisoned first. Go eat one of these things.
Are you serious?
I mean, Filbert would be serious. Tony's being a jerk.
How far away is this place?
Couple hours.
Is that what we're doing then?
I mean, we're not going to gain any ground here. All we're going to do is continue to fight wisps and watch people turn into seed pods.
And die of poison.
It's not killing me. It's just making me ornery.
How about we take a short rest? At the very least, you'll get a thing back.
Yeah.
What time of day is it?
It was mid-morning when we started all this, so probably
it's
late
probably
morning.
lunchtime.
Yeah.
So let's have lunch. We'll take a rest. You can get your wild shape back. We'll see if maybe the poison dissipates after a little bit of time.
Okay. Oh, I know.
It
Let's go to
doesn't-
the inn.
You're at the inn. Oh,
I
no,
know.
you're not.
Filbert's commenting on the fact that the innkeeper's missing.
Sorry, how far away did you say the place was?
Just a couple hours. Chainmaw would also tell you that in order to get down to... You could climb down the cliff if you want to get down to the village, but it'd be faster to go into the traveler's house, and there's a stairway that leads down from inside of there.
Traveler's house?
Yeah, it's one of those houses. You met that one traveling spice merchant at one outside the charnel house. They're just little shelters that the Empire builds along the road for people to sleep in.
Yep, okay, cool. Yeah. Alright, so why don't we do that? Sound good? Take a short rest and head out there?
Sure.
Alright.
All right. Filbert, your feeling does not dissipate.
Color me surprised.
Hey,
Yeah.
Othig, get your health back. That's not what I meant.
Filbert, you've been dealing with this long enough now. Make an insight check.
What did you mean?
Oh, okay.
Use a
23 at disadvantage.
You believe you're cursed.
Oh, wonderful.
I'd rather use a hit dice than second wind. I can use second wind and now.
I know, but you're taking a short rest.
I would
Oh, you meant before
approach
I do it. Got
Mavamine
it.
and ask him if he is advanced enough of a god wizard yet to make curses go away.
Who are you asking?
Mavamine.
No. I don't
Well,
think so.
That's
I can
terrible. There's a
attest.
cleric here somewhere, right?
There is a temple in town.
I'm just gonna wander off from the group towards wherever the closest cleric might be. And I'll tell them, I'm just gonna go get rid of this curse. But I'll be like nonchalant and old manish about it and just be like I'm going to see the doctor about my my bad hip or something.
So you go to the temple, and the guy there can definitely remove the curse for you for a 25 gold donation to the cause.
I have no money. I offer him.
How much?
Just come get money from one of us.
I know.
Don't ruin this for me. I offer him.
Okay.
I offer him a glowing potion made from mushrooms that I don't even remember what it does.
It's a healing potion.
It makes you. No, I think this is just the one that makes you glow because I made it wrong.
It's like,
No, it still heals you, but when you drink it, you glow in the dark.
Oh, I'll totally offer that to him.
He looks you up and down, and he's unsure that this is actually a healing potion. So he gives it a little taste, and he doesn't start to glow, but he does identify it as a healing potion. And he just comments on the odd color. And as he's talking to you, like all this blue light is coming out of his mouth that he can't see. And he kind of can see it, but not really. He keeps like doing this odd thing where he looks down at his nose. And so he says, very well. And he removes the curse from you.
I totally picture as he talks, like my face lights up a little bit,
Yeah.
and he can't figure out why.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yep. It's kind of like when you eat like black frosting and your teeth get all stained.
Oh.
Yes, totally like that.
Or when you eat a glow stick. Not that anyone's ever done that.
I was gonna say, like, he's got a flashlight sticking out.
All right, so Phil gets his curse taken care of. You guys take a short rest, and you head down the road, east of Mariasi, and you find this place. Oh, no, wrong button. This place. It's a small, old ruin. Some of the buildings have definitely begun to cave in. The roofs have collapsed in some places. There's a large dock sticking out from it, and you can see a sunken vessel off of the dock that is now almost completely submerged and destroyed by the water.
So, make sure I'm getting this straight. This is the original village of Mariasi that they defiled the coastline with.
No.
God.
No, it's
I
an
thought
additional
that.
village that they were going to build. And when it fell apart, everybody moved and resettled in Mariasi. Except for
I thought it was the original.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Addition,
That wasn't right.
not original.
Yep.
And so these buildings are a defilement of the natural ecosystem and the things mad about it.
Maybe?
That's the way Filbert's put it together, and he's just going to start trying to make the buildings sink into the ground.
But you got to get down there first.
Oh, I thought we were here.
Well, you're.
I comment on that to the group that that's my plan.
I would tell him to stop doing that.
Well, I haven't started yet. We're not there.
I know, but you're saying that's what I'm gonna do. Don't do that.
You would be up here by the traveler's house, and you do see several signs with skull and crossbones on them along the cliff edge, warning people to stay away from this area. Make perception checks for me.
I would tell Phil that if you get stabbed with something, how you fix it isn't to push it in deeper.
Unless it's a hook, then you push it through, cut the thing, and pull it back out.
Yes, but the end goal is to remove it, not to hide it.
Well, sure.
So if you
Danak, you're giving Phil a lecture, and you're pretty sure you see somebody walking along the shore, and then you blink and look again, and they're not there.
Okay. I'll point out that I think I saw somebody by the shore, so maybe we should head over. Oh, Phil, are you wearing your ambassador?
I can if you'd like me to.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
I'll put it on.
And as loath as I am to put Phil in charge of this mission.
And nothing more needs to be said.
Well, in that case, I give you each a crown that I make using Druidcraft. Because I'm in charge.
So you're heading down then?
Yeah.
Cliff or the
Your
stairs?
logic immediately
Stairs.
Okay.
validated.
The stairs are boarded up, but they're not like nailed down. They're just covered. So you got to remove some coverings, and it doesn't look like anybody's come down here for a long time. The reputation of this place is pretty bad from what you picked up, so people have stayed away. And you pass through this building here, and you begin to hear all kinds of whispering. You hear whispering. It sounds similar to the wisps, and they're saying things like, "They smell like the defilers. Perhaps they're friends with one of the defilers." And it's swirling around. And where are you headed?
I just wherever I think I saw that person.
Okay.
In that vague direction.
Okay.
I'm thinking it was probably somewhere.
Yep. So you head here, and you're looking around, and rising up out of the water on like a jet of water is a woman in a long, flowing, watery, seaweedy-looking gown, and the water jet sets her down on the ship, and she steps forward a little bit and waits.
I greet in Druidic that we are not how do I say, friends with, or we are not part of the group of defilers, but here to try and appease this entity's wrath. And I will present myself as my official title, my official Fey title, ambassador to the Ashen Vale.
I've never visited the Ashen Vale before. It does... The warmer places, the drier places, are not good for my skin. She smiles. You speak as one who has spent time among our people?
Yeah. Is she a nymph or a dryad?
She has a very nymphy dryad feel to her. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And I would tell her yes that I have, and I am known to their custom.
Okay. She extends her hands, and the water rises back up underneath her, and it drifts her over to the shore, and she's standing now about 10 feet from you. Her feet are still in the water. Why would you come to bargain for the defilers? They have desecrated my shoreline.
I would tell her that I'm actually more worried about her because of the coming of the Lord of Nightmares. Somebody might mistake her activities with his and try and destroy her. And I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen, while at the same time making sure that the people in town don't keep turning into seed pods, only because it's weird and kind of, not necessarily entirely needed, but maybe it is. I'm just, peace, love, that whole thing.
She giggles when you call her seed pods weird. And she says, I would think that something venomous and thorny that the other defilers are going to crush to make a beverage that sickens them is a very fitting turn of play for them. But you wish to spare them.
Alcohol's good.
And your concern for me is sweet.
Yeah, I don't like it when Fae things get killed. It kind of looks bad on the ambassador to the Fae.
She ponders. You can tell she's thinking about it, and she starts to walk through the water. She's kicking it like really playfully, and she moves her hand and every once in a while pulls a little bit of it up, and she forms some of it into a ball, and she's kind of like molding it. And she says, would you be willing to retrieve an item for me then? For surely I must be appeased.
Sure. Can I ask the story of what actually ticked you off in the first place? Mostly just because I'm curious. And the people, I'm sure, told us the right story, but, people are people and probably lie.
It's a pretty similar story, actually. They came and settled here and just basically didn't care for the natural order of things. She attempted to make a bargain with them to more naturally and functionally build the village, to use not as much stone and structure, but to perhaps build more hut-like dwellings, and they just refused, and so she turned on them.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Danik, you're getting a weird vibe. Like, she's playing her own. She's playing her own angle.
Normal?
What?
Is it my normal weird vibe?
Yeah.
Or is it...
You think this lady's playing an angle?
Okay.
Do you share that, Danik?
Not in front of her.
That's fair. That's fair. Filbert implicitly trusts everybody because no one's ever, done anything bad to him. So I would tell her that yes, we are willing to help her. I would ask if this would prevent any further loss and if she'd be willing to pause her schemes and machinations while we attempt to do it. And then I would ask if there's any way to reclaim the 4 people that she's already eaten.
Unfortunately, no. But they will be very fruitful if watered regularly and perhaps fertilized with some manure.
That's probably going to be problematic. People get sad when their friends die.
And then drink them.
And they don't care when nature dies.
No, they're turds. That's kind of just what they do. I totally empathize. I'm in, full in with that mentality, but, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 lefts do.
Oh my gosh.
Very well. I will consider their debt fulfilled if you promise to fulfill this task for me.
Mav, does that seem fair, Thanak? Othig?
What is the concept?
We need to know, we need more details for.
Oh, right, that's why I rely on you guys.
Of course, she says. Most don't know, but below the waters of this lake lies a civilization of barbaric monstrosities known as Kuatoa. Have you heard
Are they
of
similar to
such creatures?
sloths?
What?
Are they similar to sloths?
No.
Because we've encountered some of those.
These are fish people that eons ago aboleths drove mad, and now they are nothing short of savages. They often harass my territory, and I'd like it to cease. They have an idol that they worship. If it were to be stolen, I believe they would move along and find somewhere else to dwell. You could eliminate them, or you could just retrieve the idol for me, and I will consider the debt paid. What?
These guys really like to kill people with cool stuff. Do they have any cool stuff that we might want to, take?
Oh, perhaps. Many a ship has sunk in the deeps of this lake. I'm sure they've collected treasures.
Guys, you want to go harass the civilization and take their stuff?
Well, maybe. Has this group, she must know, have they, caused, have they harassed others, basically?
Most certainly. I'm mainly concerned myself with my cove here, but they are vicious and taking an opportunity. I'm sure some of the vessels of your people that have mysteriously disappeared have done so because of them.
Would she be willing to ensure that we can water as long as we need?
I can see to that.
I'm guessing we have to go underwater, right?
I may give Thanik guidance, and I want him to assist me in checking history about the Sahagan.
That's the Kuatoa, but yeah.
Kuatoa, whoever, whichever.
Yep. Sure. You let her know that you're going to share some notes that you may have about the Kuatoa, and to do so that you're going to cast guidance so she doesn't flip about it. Oh, that's good.
Edge of 4.
Dude, what the heck was that?
She sounds to be very accurate about what she's described as the Kuatoa. They are an ancient race, probably at one point in time one of the greatest underwater civilizations that were taken by aboleths and transformed basically into raving lunatics, crazier than kobolds, that now dwell the depths of the sea. And they're scavengers and pirates, and they will take advantage of any situation. So definitely not a good group of things to have at the bottom of your lake.
So we are green lighted for a murder hoboing.
Yes. You definitely. No one's gonna shed any tears over Kuatoa going missing.
I feel like that was Andy asking Mike.
Probably not even other Kuatoa.
We are green lighted for murder. Oh my gosh. Lovely. All right, water breathing a go. Yeah.
Okay. She moves her hands around again, and you watch as the water forms itself into a sheet of what looks like almost to be glass in crystal, and she asks that you would press your hand against it to seal the contract.
Before we finish, would you be interested in joining an adventuring guild?
I'm gonna stop him. I'm gonna put nope.
She smiles.
Normally Phil.
And she says she smiles and says, "Your patron must find you adorable."
Why do you get to invite all of your friends and I can't invite any of mine?
We don't. I will very.
What do you mean we don't want her kind?
Very politely, I didn't say her kind. I'll just very politely say she's probably very busy.
She smiles at you, Filbert, in very not patronizingly, but sweet. The way an adult would talk to a child tells you that maybe if you do a good job for her, she'll pay you a visit.
Ha! All right, cool. I'll just big old paw, hand slap right on the big old thing she's holding.
You put your hand on the crystal, and you guys watch as on Filbert's neck gills appear, and she does assure you that will be temporary. If you spend a day out of water, the gills will go away.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I stay in the water, they won't go away?
Correct.
Oof. Guys, we need to make a really big tank.
So, everybody's signing up then?
Yeah.
Very good.
All right, into the water we go.
And I think that's where I'll leave you then for tonight.
Oh, crap.
Because it is already 9:20.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if you was going to go to the Kuatoa adventure or if you were going to take this lady off the planet. So I was kind of planning for option B.
They put Phil in charge.
Let's put it this way. That's still not off the table.
I was just thinking that. It's quite possible both get accomplished.
Yeah.
Always is, isn't it?
Guys, this is important. When we go into this next little play area, do I turn into a giant octopus or a shark?
Why not a sharktopus?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Is that an option?
No.
Because I would gladly be a sharktopus.
Oh, Ryan missed the end of the game.
He did. He ran off to do a thing.
Let's quick leave and don't tell him.
All right, guys. We'll all see you tomorrow. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Okay, good night. Hey, Tony?
Yeah.
For our game, we're officially done, right?
Yeah, we are officially done. Okay. Ryan, you got up 30 seconds before I drew to a close.
Oh, really?
You signed the contract, and everybody got gills that you will keep as long as you are, until you spend 24 hours out of water.
Okay.
Wow. And yeah, that's where we stopped. Oh, Andy actually left.
Andy.
Oh, bye, Andy. Tony, for our game,
yeah.
I would like to, at some point,